Welcome to Anti-Woke and Autistic. Many people in the anti-diet, fat acceptance, or even just generic body positivity community believe in the following. If everyone ate the exact same, we'd all still have different bodies. That is false. Absolutely false. It's also a very broad statement because when they say different bodies, they don't define what they mean by that. They don't define exact same either. Is that everybody eating 7,000 calories a day? Everybody eating 1,800 calories a day? Let's do a thought experiment. Let's take women age 21 to 29, all right, who don't have any genetic conditions or medical conditions that cause easy weight gain or a slow metabolism. Let's say none of them are on any medications. None of them have been diagnosed with any medical conditions. So according to their medical charts, they'd be considered healthy. They all have normal blood work, no heart arrhythmias. They're just your typical normal, this person is healthy, says their primary care physician. And let's say we do have a variety of body weight. We have some thin women in this group. Well, it's just a randomly chosen group out of the population. So it's going to include thin women, slender women, straight size or non-overweight women. It's going to include slightly overweight, size 12, size 14, small fat, the so-called small fat, mid-size fat, large fat, super fat, infinifat. So it's going to be a range from thin to super morbidly obese because that's what our population consists of. And again, none of them have any medical problems that are serious or that can interfere with appetite, food intake, the ability to get in food. They don't have anything that would interfere with mobility. They don't have paralysis or a history of like mobility problems, debilitating knee pain, or some kind of something that would interfere. So they're just considered your typical average. Okay, well, for now, this person is free of illness. Now, if we take all of those women, thousands of them, and have them eating the exact same, and let's say the exact same is 2,000 calories a day. Well, some of those women are going to gain weight, and some of those women are going to lose weight. Eventually, over enough time of all those women eating 2,000 calories a day of the exact same foods and also in the exact same physical activity, whether it's all sedentary or whether they're prescribed 1 hour of exercise every day and everything else is as constant as possible as far as physical activity. So none of them are professional athletes or training for a marathon. None of them are construction workers or anything like that. So everything is pretty equal among them. After a certain period of time, obesity will be eliminated. Obesity, morbid obesity will be outright eliminated. Super morbid obesity. You just won't have any fat women in that group. Remember, at the beginning of this, I said none of them have any conditions, medical conditions, genetic conditions that cause slow metabolism. Their medical reports don't have any diagnosis of any conditions other than underweight, obese, overweight, stuff like that, or high BMI, low BMI. But there's no medical conditions. None are on any medications that might increase appetite or suppress appetite or slow metabolism or cause weight gain. So everything's constant. They would still have different bodies, but not in the sense that you still have some who are fat. Absolutely not true. This statement is very misleading. There would be variations in body proportions. You might have two women who are about the same weight, who have the same height, but maybe one has a longer torso and shorter legs than the other. Maybe one has broader shoulders, a different bone structure, longer arms, short arms. Maybe she has a longer neck or a short neck. Maybe she's got big boobs. Maybe she's got a big booty or a flat booty. She might have a very, very narrow waist, or she might be more like shaped like a ruler, straight up and down. She might have straight legs. She might have disproportionately round calves. I mean, there's different variations in the way we're shaped, but as far as excess body fat, the variation or the difference would be very, very slight if all these women were eating like 2,000 calories a day and let's of the same food, and let's assume that it's nutrient dense, 2,000 calories a day. Oh, there could be an occasional junk food in there or something, but they're all eating exactly the same. They would not all have, so they still have different bodies the way I just explained it, like proportions, the size of their breasts, the size of their butt, the shape or the contour of their legs. Some might have naturally more muscular shoulders or arms. Some might have a more softer natural look, but obesity would be eliminated. So don't imply, these people need to stop implying that all the Tess Hollidays would still look like Tess Holliday, all the Anna O'Briens would still look like Anna O'Brien's, all the Amberlyn Reeds would still look like Amberlyn Reed. No, over time, eventually, morbid regular obesity, would be outright eliminated. What you would have is that in all the formerly obese women, they'd have a lot of loose skin. Well, of course they would, because if you lose enough weight, you're going to have loose skin. So, yeah, you have all these women who have different looking bodies because loose skin looks different among people who have lost a lot of weight. They might have the majority of their loose skin in their middle, they might have the majority of it in their legs. But as far as excess body fat or obesity versus non obesity, you're not going to have the same distribution of excess body fat if everybody eats 2,000 calories a day and has the same physical or similar physical activity after 12 months or 24 months, especially, everybody is going to be a range from thin or slender to maybe a little overweight, but you're going to have the obesity eliminated. You're especially going to have the morbid obesity eliminated. Now, what about the thin women in this group? Some will probably stay thin. There are thin women who are already eating 2,000 calories a day. There are other thin women who are eating a lot less than that, so they will put on some weight, but they're not going to get fat on 2,000 calories a day. It's a very misleading, but also very generic and overly broad statement. If everyone ate the exact same, we'd all still have different bodies. So, in the way I just explained this, yes, the statement's true, but if the statement is interpreted to mean that there'd still be the same distribution or percentages in that population in this thought experiment of obese and morbidly obese and supermorbidly obese bodies, that statement is completely false. It's a very misleading mantra. It simply should not be taken seriously. So that's food for thought, no pun intended, and have a wonderful day.